Hi, I'm Gina Strauss, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. And I wanted to continue my series talking about thought patterns that we humans have that sometimes can cause us stress and anxiety, and then different tools that we can use to navigate through those times when we notice that we're using them. So, like I mentioned in a previous video about worst case scenario thinking, our brains are wired for survival. So back in our early human days, we needed them to be because there were a lot of physical dangers that were around that we needed to survive. And so that part of our early human brain that was so helpful and effective at that time is still a part of our modern human brain. And we need it still. There are times that we need to be alerted to danger and be aware and ready to act. And then there's many other times that part of our brain gets triggered, whether it be a physical danger, perceived physical danger, or a perceived emotional danger. And that part of our brain gets activated and unnecessarily. And so I wanted to talk today about this thought pattern of mind reading. And so probably all of us use this and have used this, and we think we can read somebody else's mind, right? So think about getting a text from someone and then you responding and then hearing nothing from that person. And so your mind kicks into high gear to try to think of the possibilities of reading their mind and all the different reasons why they would not text you. And a lot of times it can be centered around they don't like me, what I responded, they were really upset with me, or where are they, or are they doing something that I really wouldn't want them to be doing? Are they going to break up with me? Is there going to be some kind of consequence here for speaking my mind and answering the way I answered? And in reality, what it could be is that they were taking a shower, or they were at work and couldn't respond right away, or their cell phone service was pretty spotty, or their phone died, ran out of battery. And so there are many different possible reasons why people would not answer a text. And a lot of times we go right to worst case scenario again. Think about social media, and when you post a picture and then people comment, and then you can start to interpret and mind read what people are really thinking behind their comments. Why do they really post that picture of them with this other person? And why didn't they like what I put up there? And we can start to go down that path of mind reading. And technology brings up a lot of opportunities for us to mind read or attempt to mind read, but even being in person with people can bring up opportunities for us to mind read. So when I ask my husband, can you go to the store to get this? And he says, okay. And depending on how I'm feeling on the inside, I could interpret that okay as, okay, sure, yeah, I'll do that. Or, okay, yet another thing she wants me to be doing, right? And so one tool that's really helpful when you go down that path of trying to mind read somebody else is really just to check in with them and find out, is the thing that you're trying to mind read really true, right? So I could say to my husband, hey, I kind of interpreted your response to be that you were angry at me. Is that true? Are you kind of miffed that I'm asking you to do something else? And then he can respond and say, yeah, actually I kind of was, because I feel like I've been doing all these things. And then we can have a conversation about it. Or he'd say no, I just said, okay, I'm going to go to the store and get it, So checking in with that person. And then the other thing that you can do when you catch yourself mind reading, and if you don't have the opportunity to check in with that person, or maybe it's not a safe thing to do, or a necessary thing to do, or a comfortable thing to do, to check in with that person to see, I'm thinking of social media. You're not going to check in with every single person that comments on your post to see, how they're really feeling about what they said. But you can you can create a story, because our brain is wired also to create stories about our experiences. You have the power, we have the power to create a story that brings us peace, right? So do that. Use that capability. So if you post something on social media and someone makes a comment, create a story of peace, and that brings you peace as to why they said that. In the meantime, if you text somebody and they don't respond back and you're starting to have these feelings of worry, you can say to yourself, you know what? I'm just going to assume that they don't have good cell service, or right now they're at work and they can't respond to me. And I'm just going to have that as my story until I know otherwise. So that all this meantime, I can be at peace until and if I find out a different story. And then I can deal with that then. But in the meantime, I'm creating a story of peacefulness for myself. So I hope these tools are helpful to help you with any instance that your brain is trying to read somebody else's mind. And know that it's a normal thing to do, and that you do really have the power to A, realize that you cannot read anyone's mind, and B, either take action by asking that person or create a story that brings you more peace.